3, 2, 1. Hello.
Welcome to Sit Back and Overreact. Welcome to Sit Back and Overreact, the show where you sit back and we overreact. I think I'm getting better at that.
Julia wrote in all caps, no spaces. Welcome to Sit Back and Overreact, the show where you sit back and we overreact. It's so stupid.
It's cute. It's funny. It's a joke. The joke's too funny. Okay. What are we doing today, Heather?
Can't handle it. Anyway, well, welcome to our first episode apart, though.
Oh, yeah.
Address that.
Yeah.
So,
if this episode is bad, I'm sorry.
We're going through the motions. We're recording on Zoom.
Yes.
If you haven't heard of Zoom, it's this really
Heather.
cool.
Okay, it was a joke. It took me a minute to register you were making a joke. Okay.
Welcome to Zoom.
Why are you
podcast.
explaining it to them what Zoom means?
Are you stupid? Anyway, welcome.
Yeah, so today we want to tell the story of why we moved from Florida. Okay, so I can't talk. Florida, Michigan, help.
Those are two states that exist.
We were both born in Florida. We were both born in Florida. We moved to Michigan when I was 12 and she was 10. This is the story. This is that story.
Yeah, we're just going to kind of talk about our experiences moving, why we did, what it was like being like the new kids on the block and things like that. It was pretty fun. And also just like being people going from Florida, which is a not cold climate, to a cold climate, experiencing our first winter and things like that. That was very interesting. So we're going to share our perspective on that. Are you ready, exciting. Julia?
I am ready. Yeah, the first time we ever visited Michigan, and this wasn't the first time we visited outside of the state. We had traveled to Georgia with our family and stuff like that. Maybe Tennessee, I think one time when we were little, in our RV. But the first time we visited Michigan was in 2008 for our aunt's wedding. And it was crazy. I was so excited. It was also summertime too, so we weren't actually gonna see any snow. But I was still I was still pumped. I was excited.
I was excited too. That was a really fun time. We took our RV from Florida up to Michigan. And for the record, our father is from Michigan and our mother's from Florida. So he moved down to Florida and met our mom and then had children, and then we eventually moved up to Michigan because that's where he was from.
We were those children, by the way. Gotta clarify.
They kidnapped and enslaved two random children and made them move to Michigan.
Oh my God. It was summer and I remember I remember the first thing I remember was even when we weren't even there yet, but we were in Indiana. We were driving up and as soon as we got to Indiana, we had to we parked in we were in a campground and it was still light out by 9, and that shook me. That was what is happening right now? It is bedtime and it's still light out. This is ridiculous.
Literally in the middle of the summer, it is still twilight at 11 o'clock in Michigan, which is insane, and it still baffles me.
Maybe not 11 o'clock, maybe more 10, but I mean
it's still you can see. I mean, it's dark at 11, but it's not pitch black at 11 is what I mean.
Yeah, I guess. Just crazy. Yeah, well, you also haven't been here in a while, actually, Heather. How do you know?
How dare you? I was here this summer.
Oh, shoot, you're right. And you just got back from this Christmas break. Anyway, so the first thing I noticed when we actually got to Michigan was it was significantly less humid. It was so, I thought all summers were you're just sweating bricks and you're just sweating bricks, sweating buckets. I don't know. You're sweating
buckets,
a lot.
Probably.
That's so hot. But
it was so much rocks.
But it was just so much, especially in the evenings when it actually cooled down in the evenings. It was awesome. It was the best thing ever. It was so nice.
That was super nice.
Yeah, it was great. And we met all of our dad's friends. Again, like Heather said, our dad, all of his family is in Michigan. So we got to meet all our dad's friends, and we rode horses with some of them, and it was really sweet. And Heather got attacked by a dog.
Okay, are we going to tell the dog attacking story?
We should tell the dog attacking story. It happened to you. I didn't have a very good vantage point. I was behind everyone, and I heard ruckus in the house, and I was like, "What's happening?" And you were bawling. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I waited to recount the story to Julia for the podcast. because I remember it like it was yesterday because it was terrifying. But we were
traumatic.
Yeah, we were visiting one of my dad's friends, and they had a boxer dog, like just kind of, I guess that was just the breed. They had a boxer, and it was like this super cute dog, and I was like, oh my god, I love dogs. I was so excited because there was a dog.
Born a dog person.
Yeah, I was out of the womb. I was like, I love dogs. So I was very, thrilled to be around this dog, and we were with this person for I can't remember, but it must have been a couple days. We were hanging out with him and his family. And so on the last day we were leaving, literally like 30 seconds before we were walking out the door, I had gone this whole trip just being buddies with this dog. And I was, getting up in its face like an idiot, 8-year-old child, whatever. And I went to go hug it goodbye because I was just like, oh, I'm probably never going to see this dog again. So I tried to give it a hug, and I just so happened to be standing right at the top of a staircase. So I gave the dog a hug. It bit me in the face, and I tumbled backwards down the stairs.
I'm sorry, it's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing.
It's funny thinking back on it now. Like, I literally totally deserve that because I was just like hugging it on this dog. But yeah, it bit me in the face. I think it bit me.
Where in the face?
I don't remember.
You don't?
I thought it was like scars from it.
Cool.
But I think he bit me a couple times, and then I tried to like push myself away, and then I tumbled down the flight of stairs. And obviously I was in pain, and I was like shocked because I was like, oh my god, I just got attacked by a dog. And the owner's family, they were so apologetic, and it was fine. But even at the time, I was like, yeah, this was totally my fault. This was not the dog's fault. Like I still had that common sense at that time. But yeah, so that's what happened. I got viciously attacked by a dog. But I learned my lesson, and I don't do that as much anymore unless it's like obviously a very sweet dog that knows who I am. You know
that
what I
you
mean?
know who. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like I don't know why, but I remember being like, wait, you said that it was as we were leaving and you were saying goodbye to the dog? I don't know why, but I always remembered it as like we had just gotten to this family friend's house. And
no, we totally were just leaving.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I remember we got into the car, or got into the RV, and we were driving to the next place we were going. I don't remember where it was, but I was like showing them all of like the cuts on my arms and things like that. And yeah, I remember it was totally when we were leaving.
Yikes. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, we caught fireflies also. That was a fun thing that happened.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Because like, are there fireflies in Florida, or are they just in like
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, don't, like, from my personal memory from a child and also living here now, I don't like see fireflies very often, if at all. But because I remember when we were up on that trip in 2008, to the wedding and all of that, we were catching fireflies for the first time, and I just remember thinking it was the weirdest thing in the world. I don't think I'd ever really seen a firefly. If I had, it was like a couple times maybe. Like it was not something that was common, really.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but that was really fun. I enjoyed doing that, even though I didn't like touching them very much. It made me feel weird, but I liked doing it. It was cool.
Yeah, they scared me too. I think I was basically watching you guys do, and I was admiring the bugs from afar, but I was also like, bugs, bad. I hate bugs are bad. No, and also to be fair, we came from Florida. Do you think, Heather, that it's appropriate to call Florida the Australia of America?
Yes, I do think that's appropriate and also very funny.
Yeah, I don't know if the wildlife is that crazy, but like it's kind of crazy.
No, I mean, we and this is kind of a tangent, but one of the houses that we lived in Florida, we lived on like a 10-acre wooded area. And there were like the most messed up spiders. There were like spiders that were like stupidly massive. Like I remember there was this one like banana spider on one of our like paths through the woods that we cut, and it like the size of a cell phone. Like it was stupid. and massive, and I hated it. So but it's not like there aren't like tarantulas really. I mean, there are snakes sometimes.
There are
like,
lizards everywhere. I
oh
remember
yeah,
last time I went back to visit Florida, I was like, why are there so many lizards? Were there always this many lizards? But like there probably were.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of lizards and cockroaches too. There are a lot of cockroaches, which I hate.
I haven't seen a cockroach in so long. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I see them a lot, and it's my least favorite.
Yeah. So after 2 years after that trip, we decided to move to Michigan in 2010. And it was not in an RV. Unfortunately, we drove in cars. Should we talk about why we ended up moving to Florida?
Yes.
Or Michigan. We moved to Michigan.
Yeah. So our well, we won't get into the whatever, but our dad was sick and he basically needed a desk job. Like our parents like before moving ran a lawn maintenance business where my mom would do all the paperwork stuff and my dad would go cut lawns and bring in that money and whatnot. But he got sick, and after he was sick, he was like, hey, I really need a desk job. And he didn't really have any connections in Florida, but he did have connections in Michigan because that's where, he grew up. That's where most of his family was at the time. So they got him a job at an auction, like a
auto auction, car auction.
Yeah. So he ended up getting a desk job there, which was ideal because he was still recovering from being very ill. So we ended up moving because of that reason. And were you excited
to move? Yeah, I was super excited. I was definitely a mix because like I was excited because, oh my God, guys, I had never seen snow before, like ever. I'd never had like a real white Christmas or like white whatever and winter.
Maybe at one point, I think maybe at one point we had seen like a little bit of packed down snow in Georgia, but never like seen it snowing, never seen like a landscape full of snow. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and that's what I wanted. I was like, I don't want just a couple flakes. I do not. That's like not cool enough. I want the real deal. I want Santa Claus on a Christmas morning with cookies and milk and snow everywhere, and I wanted to be freezing. That's what I wanted. So I was very excited for that. I was a little sad just because all my friends were in Florida. Like my best friend, like Shelby, if you're listening, I love you and I miss you and you're great. But yeah, like all my best friends were in Florida. My family was all in Florida. All of our mother's side of the family was in Florida. Our grandparents were in Florida. Oh God, I like all of our grandparents lived in Florida. So like we didn't get to see them. That was like our last, because we used to be at our grandparents' house like every weekend, at least every other weekend.
A lot.
One of our cousins who lived in Jacksonville would like come visit us in our town like every other weekend. And we would spend time with her and we would spend time with our grandparents. And that was something we had to give up in order to move to Florida or to Michigan. I keep saying move to Florida. We moved to Michigan.
Yeah, we did spend a lot of time with that side of the family at that time. But honestly, for me, I was just so excited to experience something different. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't like a social butterfly, but I had a couple friends and I was sad to move, but I was excited for like that future. I wasn't like heartbroken to leave,
Yeah.
And then it was right as the fall semester was about to start too. Yep. So we got to miss school to drive for 3 days straight.
That was fun.
We didn't even have a place that we were gonna like officially go to school. It wasn't a thing where like, no, we're in Florida and we're gonna move to this school district. We kind of just like decided on a whim.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's a normal thing that families will do. If most people plan or if most people just do it on a whim. For me, I was like, okay, this is what my parents are telling me is happening, so this is happening. I didn't have any understanding of, is this normal? Is this weird? I guess is it responsible to be this spontaneous with something like this?
Right.
Not that we. Yeah. We got to. It took like 3 days. Yeah, like 3 days, maybe 4 days to drive to where we needed to drive in Michigan. I remember. Our dad had an iPod, and he had exactly 5 songs on his iPod.
We were writing notes. we were writing notes for this episode, and like both of us immediately knew exactly what 5 songs. Would you like to recount those songs?
All right, so we got "You Spin Me Right Round" by, I don't remember who it's by. It's the 2000s Flo Rida, maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
then,
it's Flo Rida.
Yeah, okay, and then "Sober" by Pink, "Smooth Criminal" by Michael Jackson, and "Just Dance" by what's her name? Lady Gaga. Why did I forget her name? And also "Poker Face" by Lady Gaga. And the reason I know this,
that was
here's
the
the thing.
entire iPod.
Here's the thing. The reason we both remember it so well is because for like, I think I'm over it now, but like at least for 5-6 years after we had moved to for the 5-6 years in that time frame that we were living in Michigan for the first time or whatever, anytime I listened to any of those sounds, I would immediately get car sick, or I would feel, I'm not saying I would projectile vomit, but like I would feel nauseous and like, oh God, because like, you know, you play the same songs when you're in a car for 12 hours straight, and it's like, oh God.
Yeah. No, I relate to that too. I never listen to those songs without thinking about driving for hours on end. I'm not like a car sick person, but that definitely bothered me.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I also remember, I don't know, I remember this. I also remember that it was the same weekend that Camp Rock 2 premiered on Disney Channel.
I don't remember that at all.
I do, because like I remember being really sad because like because obviously we were going to be living, this is like skipping ahead a little bit, but we were going to be living with our aunt, and actually the same aunt that got married. Stop blowing your nose on the podcast.
I'm sorry. Am I not allowed to have bodily functions?
No.
I'm not allowed to say ball sack. I'm not allowed to blow my nose. Jeez.
Anyway, Anyway, yeah, so like she wasn't going to let us watch the Disney Channel all the time, which was what we were used to, literally watching the Disney Channel all the time. And I was like, I'm so sad I don't get to like record, you know, when we had Dish Network and you had to record something on TV to watch it later.
Or like the TiVo.
Yeah. TiVo. Yeah, like we couldn't do that at least for a while. So I was like, man, I don't get to. I remember we had stopped in one of the nights we were driving in, like we stopped in hotels along the way, obviously. We did, I did catch the tail end of the movie, like on, I remember catching the tail end of the movie on Disney Channel when we got to one of the hotels. And that was kind of fun, but like, yeah, I hadn't completely watched it until much later, but yeah, like, sorry, you can talk. I feel like you're trying to talk.
No, you're fine. No, I had a sudden memory about like, you know, people on the internet, it's kind of like a joke that people remember like waking up in the middle of the night and watching that George Lopez show.
Yeah.
Oh, my love. And I just remember when we were living at that aunt's house, that was where that memory just like ingrained into my brain for me, because I just remember waking up and hearing
oh, that's fun.
It's so vivid in my brain, and like seeing the people like bouncing.
Aw, that's so fun.
But that's I wanted to, that reminds me, that is what I remember concerning television at that time in my life, where you kind of remembered Camp Rock too. But anyway.
Yeah, no, that was, I don't remember that. I think the reason I have Camp Rock 2 so embedded in my memory is like the main thing I remember, because I said like I caught the tail end of the movie, like one of the last songs they all sing is called "This Is What We Came Here For," and I love that song so much, and like I identified with that song because it was literally like, oh, we're moving to Michigan, this is where we came here. So anyway, I remember whenever whenever none of the adults were in the house, basically I would just like, I don't know if I pulled it up. Maybe I did pull it up like on the big TV just when no one was around. But like I would look up "This Is What We Came Here For" Camp Rock 2 karaoke on YouTube. And, like sing it passionately to myself and like, "This is what we came here for." It was so dumb.
That is
no,
really
it wasn't
funny.
Dumb. I'm just roasting my childhood self. It was kind of cringy is when I'm cringing looking back on it, but like at the time it meant a lot to me.
You know what? You were just coping, and that's okay.
I was coping.
You're allowed to cope.
Yeah.
This is how we cope.
It was very emotional. So yeah, eventually mom and our parents found a school for us. It was about 2 hours away from where we were living with our aunt. And I remember I was so excited because like our school, the middle, again, Heather doesn't have this feeling, but like did they give you netbooks in 5th grade?
No, we had to wait until 6th grade.
Yeah, right. So like basically the school district where we went to, Heather was going into 5th grade in the elementary school and I was going into 7th grade. And the middle school I was going to and that Heather would eventually go to gave us netbooks, which are like little laptops that you get to bring to all your classes.
These really, really terrible, like dinky $50
Okay, but
laptops.
I
They're
didn't know that
just
at the time.
horrible.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Like my school is going to give me a laptop for free.
I
What?
was incredibly excited too. I was so mad when you got one and I didn't, and I had to wait a whole year. But I
Yeah.
remember the day that I got mine, I was so excited. I can't even. And it's funny because this is a side tangent as well. But my first memory of having a netbook was I somehow, by the grace of our Lord Almighty, got Minecraft to run on that dinky little computer. I don't know how it happened, but it did. Also, I didn't know how to play Minecraft at the time, so I just kind of like put stuff places. But that was really fun and I enjoyed that. But it's like that poor computer must have been just like running on dead air.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I mean, I loved my computer. They would definitely like Heather said, they were really dinky and bad and they would break sometimes. And whenever they broke, you had to like take it to the netbook school IT department. They would give you a replacement, and temporary replacement until you got a new one. And I was I don't know, I would write because I think I mentioned this before, I love to write. I've always loved writing. So I would write so much. That was basically what I would do in my free time. I would work on little short stories. I would work on little quote unquote novels, but like they were like 20 pages each. Like,
yeah.
But that was like my big thing. Like Heather would play video games on hers and I would just write little short stories on mine, like constantly.
Also, I would also additionally spend way too much time, more time than I'm willing to admit, just customizing the stupid thing. Like, oh, what speed do I want my mouse to move at? What color do I want my sidebar to be? And like, dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, so cute. Yeah. So we moved.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first house we ended up moving into. Probably this is the main. We're not going to tell the whole story until like, and this is where we are now. But like the first house we moved into when we came to Michigan.
Yeah, that house honestly was really, really cute. Like,
yeah, it was great.
I really thought it was cute. So it was basically a 2-story house. It was on maybe like an acre of property, not a lot. It was like, but there was like a sizable backyard. It came with like a cute little like a, what are they called? Like a shed in the backyard.
Did we have a shed in the backyard?
We did. I
don't remember that one.
Backyard. But we did yeah, but like it was, I guess my point is that house specifically I loved because we got to have our own rooms for the first time, and we actually got our own level of the house. So our parents and our parents' bedroom, then their office and whatever, the living room and the kitchen were on one level, and then you go down 2 flights of stairs, and then it's like this cool, fun basement.
Yeah, we lived in the basement. It was super fun. And it was like carpeted and everything. It wasn't like a shady basement. It was like
in retrospect, I think that it was cool for us because we had never lived in a house with like an underground basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Do they have those in Florida?
They do. I mean, it's a thing in California where like houses don't have something because of earthquakes or whatever. I think that most houses here don't have like fully fleshed out like basements. Like the house I'm living in right now has a basement, but it's like scary and cold, because of flooding and hurricanes and stuff like that. I mean, there are like storm shelters that are in houses, but not like fully fleshed out basements. So this was like a carpeted, really nice basement that we got to live in.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, like Florida's basically like a little peninsula of sand. Like you don't have like much real land, or I don't know how to explain it, but maybe that's not the right way to say it. But I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense why you wouldn't have underground stuff.
One of my first memories of this house, or my only memories really of this house, we had this chair, this recliner chair.
God.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
The chair.
The chair. It was like this tan, ugly, like super big recliner. So for us 2 children, we could fit on it. So we were on this recliner and we would do this thing where we would like flip it so the back was on the floor, and then one of us would sit on the chair like incorrectly, and then the other kid would run towards it at full speed, so that I would, or one of us would like push on it and then flip it right back up on its like normal like surface.
It was
I
really
guess.
fun. It was a fun little game. It was dangerous and stupid, and obviously we broke it. You know where this story is going. We broke the stupid chair.
We snapped that thing in half. It was so funny. I remember because I think I was the one to eventually do it, because I remember I was standing in your room, which was like the farthest corner to where I was going. I was getting like a running start. I was like, okay, all right, I got this. I can do this. Because we were as if anything different was going to happen, you know? And then I did it, and it just snapped and broke, and we were like, uh-oh.
So what we did was, because we had this like, well, what is it called? Like a walkie. Oh, what is it called? The little the equipment.
Exercise bike.
Exercise. Oh yeah, it was the exercise bike. I don't know. I was picturing like a treadmill for some reason, but it was an exercise bike. So we put it up against it, and like to make it look like we hadn't broken this chair. And like how long did we get away with that? How long before our parents figured it out?
At least a week. It was a stupid amount of time. It's like day 22 in the chamber. They haven't found me yet, but when they do, they're gonna be surprised.
Do you know how long weeks are? Heather, weeks are 7 days, not 22.
No, I'm talking about a meme, Julia.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know. Day 22 in the chamber. I don't know. That's cute. But eventually, I don't remember getting that in trouble. Maybe I just cried enough to where my mom was like, okay, this was an accident. Just stop crying about it. Because I literally cried so much whenever I got in trouble. I always felt extremely guilty whenever I got in trouble over anything. Like, I hated getting in trouble.
I thought it was funny, honestly.
I didn't. Like, nope. Yeah, I was so sad. I was so depressed. But yeah, snow. I'm depressed. So 2 seconds later, snow.
Snow. Let's talk about snow. So, Julia, tell us about what your first experience seeing snow was like.
First time I like saw like snow, like that was like packed down on the ground and stuff was like, it was like early December, I feel like. And like, I'm yawning. And like my mom I think she did this to you, but like she did it to us individually. I don't know why she did, but like she did it individually, and like she like pulled me out of bed, and I was like, Mom, I'm tired. It's like 6 a.m. And like she covered my eyes, and then she walked me over to the what's the word? The
sliding glass door.
Yeah, the sliding glass door. And then I opened my eyes and I was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. It was beautiful. It was so pretty. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I remember that same day. For the record, it was just like the tiniest dusting of snow, but it was completely covering the whole ground. It was like a half inch of snow, maybe.
Yeah.
Very little. But we were so excited. I remember she did the same thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just so excited.
Yeah, I remember because like I think, you know, I had been in school, we had been in our new schools for like a couple, you know, a month or two now. And like all the new friends I was making were like, oh my God, you get to see snow for the first time. You're gonna experience what a snow day is like. It's gonna be great. And like I remember thinking that specific time when like I saw like it was 1.5 inches or whatever of snow on the ground. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have a snow day. We're going to have a snow day because there's snow on the ground. So we're going to have a snow day. And then I went to school anyway. And they were like, I mean, no, that happens when there's a significant amount of snowball. Like 1.5 inches is not enough.
Yeah. I mean, that's funny though, because how would we have known that, you know?
Yeah, we have no idea. If no snow day, why is snow? I'm trying to reference a meme. Can you tell?
Yeah. No, that is true. It's funny because, yeah. But
we loved all the fun stuff. We would go sledding. We were not good at snowboarding at all. But like we loved sledding. We loved sledding. Specifically, like our dad would pull us around on like a snowmobile, like attach the sled to a snowmobile and like pull us around our yard. We wouldn't like be crazy like those. I know. I feel like at some point I saw someone doing that same thing, but like in the middle of a road, and I was like, that's so dangerous. We only do that in our yard. Like, right. But I literally saw something. Oh no, I remember what the video was. It was like a viral video of someone that hooked a sled up to a car. That's what it was. It was so dangerous. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's not safe. Speaking of things that aren't safe that involve snowmobiles
and also illegal.
Yeah. So my dad had no respect for the law. And I was like his daughter that was into like guy things, so he wanted to teach me how to drive a snowmobile, and I was very excited to do that. I was like, oh my god, because when he had his lawn maintenance company, I remember being super excited to like drive the lawnmowers around and stuff. It was just like kind of our thing. So he was teaching me how to do it, which we looked it up at one point, and like in order to operate a snowmobile legally, you need like a permit, and also you need to not be under 12 years old. And I was like, and I was like, no training whatsoever, just operating. And part of it's like, oh, we were on our private property and it's fine, but we eventually went off of our private property.
That's true. Maybe not in that first year, but definitely eventually.
No, I mean, but the thing is like I shouldn't have been driving it. It was stupid. I remember I almost broke both of our legs at one point.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, tell that story. I don't remember this happening at all. Probably because
I can't believe you don't remember it.
Maybe I feel like because I escaped so quickly, and I was like, "Cool, I'm good." But you were like, like you almost broke your legs.
So we were driving. I was driving the snowmobile without parent supervision with Julia, and we were just kind of doing laps around the backyard, just like around our house and whatnot. We were coming up on like this like snowbank where it was kind of like a super tight left turn. So I went to, do the left turn and whatnot, but just like there was so much force and whatever, it just tipped on top of us. So I just kind of like fell. We both kind of fell against the snowbank, and then the stupid snowmobile was tipped over on top of our legs. And Julia obviously was still, like you said, able to get out quickly, but I couldn't get my leg out for like a couple minutes. And I am being dramatic in saying that I almost broke our legs, but like if I had been going any faster, like it's very easy. I could have broken my leg.
Does clickbait count for podcasts? Because we could totally, we're just going to name this podcast episode, Heather broke her legs, question mark. Heather almost broke our legs. We're not titling that. We're not stupid.
But
yeah, it was so fun. I remember. Yeah, we weren't in that house for very long, and then like our second house was even cooler. We were in that house for like a year, and then we spent most of our teenage years in like this other house, which was words are hard. It's kind of, I'm thinking about this too, and I remember we were looking for like a more permanent residence, like aside, like after living in this particular house for a year, and like so like our town. This is so dumb. Especially looking back now, and the fact that like I don't love how, or I don't have a lot of fond memories in the small town we lived in Michigan. But not that I don't, but like, you can only have so many fond memories of a place that worships football and only listens to country music, right? If that's not your thing. But
we were definitely just we were not in like our zone, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
It was definitely like a culture shock for sure.
Yeah. But the big thing was like, I remember because our town was so small that like a lot of my friends and Heather's friends just lived in the town, right? And they basically lived walking distance to the school and like to the little gas station that sold pizza and stuff. And not that I could eat the pizza, but like like the snack store or whatever, and like all these convenience stores. And I just loved the idea of being close enough to school that I could walk. Like I loved that idea so much. And unfortunately, we didn't end up moving. We looked in some houses in that area in like our little town, but we ended up choosing a house that was like, driving distance. Like I had to take a bus to school.
We actually were like very close to buying a house in town within walking distance of the school.
Okay. Maybe that's why
asbestos in the basement, so we couldn't.
Oh yeah, that's like cancer.
You remember
that? Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's like
cancer in the basement.
No, what does asbestos mean though?
No, I think that's what it is. I don't know exactly what it is.
I'm Googling it. We can't just not know. How do you spell asbestos?
Fair enough. Asbestos. I'm pretty sure it's like a chemical that they used to use in older houses and it just causes cancer. Like it was proven to cause cancer now.
Asbestos is a long-term inflammation and scarring of the lungs due to asbestos fibers. Wait, this is a condition. This isn't a thing that can just live in a basement. Unless it is, I don't know.
Hang on, let me Google it.
Oh God. Yeah, no, this is just giving me, I don't know what this is. Anyway, there was something in the basement. Like it was probably a weird mold or something that was bad for your lungs and gave you cancer.
Yeah.
And I was heartbroken. Yeah, and that's probably why I got so excited, because we were so close. But yeah, I was heartbroken. I was like, I wanted to live close enough to school, but honestly, to be fair, it's probably a better thing, because again, weather conditions in Michigan, I was not going to be happy about walking 10-15 minutes in the middle of winter when it's like snowing, or even like on rainy days where it's just like pouring down rain or icy rain. Like, it was better for everyone that we had to ride the bus throughout middle school and high school.
Yeah, no, I was very much looking forward to living in that house too, and it was such a nice house, and we would have had a freaking laundry chute. How fun would that have been, you know?
Oh, they had one of those. That's fun. Like the one in Home Alone.
Yeah.
Just take a BB gun when he line up the little guy. It's like pew pew pew.
Yeah. But it's whatever. It ended up working out because we moved into this beautiful house about 15 minutes away from the school, maybe 20-ish. And honestly, it was fine. Like, it was a smaller house. Like, it was only one story, but we each got our own rooms.
Yeah.
We lived on 10 acres. 5 of the acres were on one side. Then there was a river going through a bridge that went over that we built partially ourselves, and then another 5 acres on the other side.
Yeah, that's fun.
And it was just so beautiful. I loved living there. It was just gorgeous countryside.
Yeah, it was a great place. But yeah, no, let's talk about our school. Like, I definitely like to roast the school we used to go to and the school district we used to go to, but like, it wasn't that bad really, and people were really kind. That's a big thing. Like, oh my God, I think this was a thing with Michigan in general, and coming from, because by the time I had moved, like, I had spent 1 year in a really big middle school in Florida where I got bullied relentlessly, and I literally got run over by a mob one time because like there was a fight. I wasn't in a fight, but like a fight had broken up, and like a bunch like kids were running rampant. Like, it was absolute chaos. And I just got run over by a mob, and it was insane. To go from that to moving to like a very small town middle school where people were like nice to me, it was weird. It was a little sus.
A little sus. Which one of y'all is gonna kill me?
It was bonkers. But
I had a similar experience too. I mean, in my middle school, or I didn't end up going to that middle school that you're talking about, but I remember being so afraid of going, and we ended up moving into this district. And for the record, not everybody was nice. Like, there were some kids that were really, that's also really mean to me and like my friends and stuff. Not everybody, but for the most part, everybody was super nice. And when I got into high school, people were totally nice. I was very quiet, so people didn't like, talk to me very much, which I was fine with. I was just like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna kind of fly solo, do my thing. I had like a group of like 4 or 5 friends that I just stuck with. I was the school emo though. Which when you go to a small school district, not in high school but in middle school, when you go to a small school district, that kind of clique of children is very small. But it was fun. I enjoyed my time there. Well, and it's funny because like some of my friends think back as it was just like, oh, it's just like the worst time of my life, and part of me just doesn't get it still to this day. No, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't the most amazing school in the world, but it was homey, and it was nice. Yeah,
that's true.
And I liked a lot of my teachers and stuff like that. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, it was.
It
was absolutely a mix. There. Yeah, we did. Like, I especially like the first few years I was going to and getting to start high school there. Like, it was good. I had like rough times, but like it was a good place. It was a safe place. It was a very safe place. The main thing, I think, as I got older, especially in like junior year of high school, senior year of high school, just aside from all the really intense family stuff we were going through, I was also coming to terms with like, it was a very our school district was a very conservative area, which I was learning that I did not vibe with at all. I just did not vibe with it. And I was like, I'm literally bi. Like, I can't. It was not a place where I felt, and like sexuality for me took a long time to figure out in general, but it was not a place where I felt safe to like explore that. You know what I mean? Like, I knew,
oh God, no.
I knew it would, people would not agree with it, especially, again, small town, everybody talks. I was like, I'm just going to not even think about my potential attraction to girls, and we're just going to pretend that it's not a thing. We're just going to pretend it's not a thing. It's not a thing. We're not going to talk about it.
And it's not like, I hesitate to say that that school district is particularly intolerant, but then I think about some of the things that happen that we won't necessarily talk about.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, it was pretty bad, but I obviously didn't have that experience, but it pissed me off, you know what I mean? When, things like that would happen. It doesn't matter, but I did enjoy my time there for the most part. Can I tell you about something mischievous that I did?
Oh my God, yes.
I'm not sure if I ever told you this. I'm sure I did at one point, but I was telling Mom about it the other day and she was pissed at me.
What'd you do?
I didn't do a lot of mischievous things, but now that we're on the topic of school, I did do one kind of mischievous thing.
Oh no.
And now, a brief cockroach intermission.
What are you doing?
There's a cockroach on my desk.
Oh my God. Call Noah. Make him get rid of it. Make your boyfriend get rid of it.
Noah!
Call him again.
Noah!
Hey, Noah. Oh my God. You're calling the boyfriend that you live with to come get rid of the cockroach.
Help. I need help. Help. Help, help, help. 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 Help me.
Cockroach. No.
There's a cockroach.
Oh, geez.
Oh, jeez.
I need help, please. Anyway, so I was mischievous. Just kidding.
We want to hear the story, but like, I guess deal with your cockroach situation first.
It's like in that area.
Noah's like, I'm helping.
Just like hit it really hard.
Don't hit the mic.
I wonder why there would be a cockroach in here. Maybe it's because there are cinnamon graham crackers right here.
You just got attacked. Called out for your cinnamon graham crackers. We want to hear your mischievous story before the cockroach gets back.
Okay. So, mischievous story. So I was sitting, I was in math class in 7th grade and I was sitting in like the front corner of the room. So I was like at the edge of the line of desks. So there was a walkway right next to me and there were these two like idiot kids and they were chasing each other around the room and just like being obnoxious. They were like class clowns, whatever. And one of them is like coming around behind me, in the walkway next to me.
Oh no.
Running at full speed. And I was just so annoyed. I was like, I'm here to like learn. I don't know. I'm sick of this. And I was like super annoyed. And I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So this guy, they were chasing each other around the room and just in a split second decision, I just popped my foot out and I tripped him.
I've never been more proud of you. That's amazing. Why was Mom mad at you? That's amazing.
Well, because she was like, I can't believe you did that to a kid. But the best part about it was this dumb guy, he got up, he looked at me and he went, that was awesome. We went to class.
That's so funny.
So awesome.
That's great.
He was like mischievous, but he was really funny. Like I'm sure he's like, I don't know what he's up to now because I think he transferred out after middle school, but he was just like that really annoying kid, but he's funny, you know.
That's so fun.
Anyway, that was my mischievous story.
I love that. Yeah, that was crazy. So so yeah, after all that, we've been living in Michigan for I've been living in Michigan for 10 years. You moved back to Florida. Do you prefer Michigan or Florida?
I plead the fifth because
you can't just plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. No, I love different things about both places. I hate different things about both places. Like weather-wise, I absolutely prefer Michigan because I love autumn. You know, I love the winter. I love the changing seasons.
Heather has an unhealthy obsession with autumn. Like
I'm like that girl that's like obsessed with orange. That's me. And I love autumn and stuff like that. But when it comes to like DoorDash accessibility, I'm gonna have to go with Florida. You know what I mean? There are different things that, you know, it's a give and take, but I love different things. And also I just have family in both areas. But what about you? Which one do you prefer?
I kind of prefer it's a toss up because basically okay, if you're talking about like the worst parts of both of them, you're talking about the Midwest and like the Bible Belt and all the crazy things that come with that. You have that versus Florida, which is just Florida. No, I'm just making fun of how it's the stereotype is you're full of crazy people. And crazy animals and stuff. But no, I mean, I do love Florida, and I do miss Florida a lot sometimes, but I do definitely prefer Michigan also, again, just because weather, it's just nicer and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I totally get that. So overall, the experience of moving, it was difficult, but I'm glad I went through it because I wouldn't have met some really important people in my life. Like my best friends I met in 6th grade, and we've literally never not been friends, ever since we met. We've been through so much together. We've been through, being the emo kids in middle school. And I wouldn't have wanted to do that at any other point with anybody else at any other place. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And also those people are probably listening. What's up, ladies? I would say a censorable word, but I don't feel like doing that work later.
Nice.
No, but I think it made me a more quiet and reserved person more than anything. Like if we're talking about how it changed me as a person, because like taking me out of my element, like in Florida, definitely like kind of made me more reserved. I developed social anxiety like towards the end of middle school, beginning of high school. But that's kind of okay, But what about you? What was the experience of moving like for you?
I mean, yeah, it's been good. I'm glad. I'm glad we did it. Absolutely. Like, I really like this place, and I'm gonna be sad if I ever have to, which I probably will, like for my for work and like for my degree. I'll eventually have to move somewhere that has more jobs related to the film industry.
Right.
Which will be very sad. But I like it here, especially the city. I'm not gonna say where I live, but the city I'm currently living in Michigan. I love it very much. It's great. And yeah, I have. It's hard to say I have friends because I do, but also I haven't seen most of them in a year. Maybe not quite, but you know what I mean? Like quarantine has made it very difficult to just casually socialize with people. So I've definitely missed people in that regard. But yeah, no, glad I live here. I like it a lot and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was our recounting of what it was like moving from Florida to Michigan. Thank you for listening, everybody.
We hope you liked it.
Telling you about that, and I apologize for the cockroach break.
We hope you liked our special guest, the cockroach.
What's his name? Reginald the cockroach.
Also Heather's boyfriend who was here for 2 seconds.
I love how we're like, oh, special guest, the cockroach, not the actual person that walked in.
Who's Heather's boyfriend? We don't know him.
He's a mysterious cockroach.
Oh my god, Heather's dating a cockroach, confirmed.
No, not my type. Thank you. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks for sitting back while we overreacted.
I overreacted at that cockroach though. Okay, bye.